Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week of racing, and we find ourselves at round number 7 of the Formula 1 Championship, brought to you by LSR Lightspeed Racing. We find ourselves in Suzuka, Japanese. Lovely fields, one of the best tracks in the world, and I have the pleasure to be accompanied by none other than Mr. Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard, how are you doing, mate?
I'm doing very good, Tony. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastically well. Ladies and gentlemen, my apologies in advance because you might see the game pause. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do against that. You know how the video game likes to work. But hey, there you go. We're back. We already have a retirement, Ryan Howard. It's a Ferrari. Who is that?
Right, so when I joined, I didn't specify to be a spectator. I didn't select any teams or drivers. So for some reason, it just threw me into the Ferrari.
Oh my god, you're doing Ferrari tactics without even wanting to. You gotta love it. Here you see Solo putting the fastest time off the board so far. And you know what, Mr. Howard, if you let me, I will go for a little bit of a track guide here at Suzuka. Historical track from beginning to end. So let's just go right forward with Pies. He's going to cross the finish line in time to start things out into the first turn. Double apex right hander. Lots of trail braking, as you can see, but with the downforce it's so easy to go through it. We head into the S-curves. Really tough. Got to be very careful on your throttle and brake inputs. Heading now into the lump, up the hill, left-hander. Very misleading exit. Tap the grass and you're on the wall. Heading now into Degna. A very, very tough right-hander. That curve is massive and it can launch the cars up into the sky. We go through the bridge and into the hairpin, turn number 11. As you can see, Pies getting a great exit out of it. Flat-out section. As we close into the spoon, another double apex. Double left-hander, as you can see, brake after the 50. That's a little too wide. Oh, that's not the corner you want to do. Completely missed from Pies.
That looks like an invalidation to me.
Well, that looked a little painful, but hey, you want history, here you have it, 130R. Of course, my man, Fernando Alonso, with one of the most incredible overtakes there on Schumacher. And to finish off the lap, it is the Casio Triangle. Fantastic lap overall, except for the spoon. Pies is still going to get third with that massive mistake on the entry of the third sector. Let me tell you, Ryan, things are looking tight at the front.
It is looking tight at the front, and I was for sure that was an off-track going into the spin corner.
I seriously don't know how that wasn't an off-track, because nearly the whole car was on the curb or further away from it. So
yeah, it looked like he was trying to make his way to Okayama.
Hey, that's a good track indeed. That is a
Yeah.
very good track indeed. You also got Suzuka, a really nice Japanese track. Oh, well, that's definitely an off track.
It's gonna check the race director, and no, it isn't.
No?
Not from what I can see in the race director. What we've got currently is 2 drivers given a warning for speeding in the pit lane.
I cannot believe that it's not an off track. It was completely off the track. So you can use the full curb to your advantage. Well,
And then some, apparently.
well, let me tell you, people can gain so much time there because they can nearly flat it out the corner. So,
Yeah, pretty much.
well, hopefully the stewards will be awake and responsive for what's about to happen, because of course we're talking about a big cut on the track. Here you see Josta on the outlap.
Yeah, we've both got Crispy Chicken 44 and Joestar out on an outlap here.
You see him.
You can see Chris here just warming up his tyres, trying to get some temperature in them. I wouldn't necessarily weave down here because you've got 130R, which would more than happily warm up the tyres as well as heavy braking into the chicane. Right.
Ooh, 27.9 for Chocolate on the Mercedes. Here you see, as you said, Chicken going for a little bit of curry here at Suzuka. Let's see.
Turn 1 is an excellent turn. It's basically flat out going into the first right part of it. And then throughout the S's, the trick here is always to sort of modulate your throttle.
Yeah.
Try and get that balance, especially through this sector of the S's here and this right-hander. Now this left-hander is a little bit tricky because there's a bit of a compression that's slightly off camber as well, so you really have to make sure you're not gunning it full on the throttle. Segment 1 and 2, hard brake right, hard brake right. It's simple, but you can gain a lot of time by being the last of the late braker set. This hairpin is particularly difficult because, as I said earlier, it's slightly off camber and there's 2 different lines. A lot of drivers aim for a wider line and a later apex.
Yeah.
And one of the most technical corners coming up is Spoon Corner. You really have to make sure you get the first half of it right, otherwise you're going to understeer in the second sector of it. So as you can see here, Chris wasn't... That is a line, but he could have really maximised it by carrying the car more to the right, which opens up that left-hand turn off the spoon, which would have allowed him to get a much better exit, which you really need for the flat-out 130R. And as we all know, there's the chicanes, very, very happy days, and he outbrakes himself, but that's okay. You can get a really, really good entry and not be punished too much if it's the end of your quali lap. And he does improve.
Yeah, indeed. He goes up in a 10th. Well done from him. Here you see your teammate, your supposed teammate, Mr. George, should have said going for a what the fuck is that? Yeah, we can have a katsuda. We can have them. Exactly.
Is it gluten-free?
And, you know, there is a big thing that we need to talk about here, Ryan. The tire compounds are going to suffer a lot through this race, as Suzuka is such a demanding track, both on the driver itself and on the tires. As you can see, George getting ready to start his lap. Starting at 2, deploying the ERS, as well as the DRS in time for the Ferrari driver to go for a flying lap. Something I also want to talk to you about is how incredible technology and engineering has come through. I remember back in the day, you know, that turn number 1 and 2, you always had to brake. You couldn't flat it out the way drivers are doing it nowadays. And the aerodynamics of these cars are art, you know, it's incredible.
Exactly, the aero allows it. And it's also the camber of the track as well. It sort of rolls into that right-hander, which makes it really, really easy for the car to make the most of its mechanical grip. And he was a bit late going into the hairpin there. But as you were saying earlier about the tyres, the first half of this track, the tyres are always under a constant heavy load. And tyres are going to get worn out pretty quickly. Softs, I'm expecting to last 2 laps. Quali load, I can't imagine them being an effective race tire. If
Yeah,
you were to, if you were to run the softs, I would almost guarantee it being a two-stopper.
I don't think that that soft compound is going to go longer than 8-9 laps. Whoa! Well, George decides to take the bollard with him and nearly takes the bollard for the pit entry too. Well, that's a very early pit limiter. Let's move with Ian Beale, who's out on track, ready to rock and roll. 5:45 remaining. Chocolate leads from Rules, Baggins, Jorgel, Solo, Pies, Beale, LJM, Harris, Denzak, Joester, Map, Chicken, George, Optical, and Drift King. 16 drivers ready to leave it all out here at Suzuka. And Ryan, one thing is for sure, we're gonna have a little bit of pop pneumonium. Do we expect safety cars here?
Yeah, absolutely. This track.
That is something you do not want to do. What?
I think he was looking to let the Mercedes through, maybe try and get a slipstream, but in doing so, what he's done is he's gone onto the very dirty area of the track, and that's going to really make the tyres dirty and not so grippy. So he's got to have the challenge of trying to clean those tyres up before he starts his flying lap. Did the Mercedes just disappear?
Look at that, the tires are dirty, yeah? Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why he would do something like that, but hey, time to go. Hot lap is underway. As you can see, of course, in the S's, drivers trying to avoid the curb. Gonna settle the car in a big manner, going up through Dunlop. Fantastically done from the Aston Martin, heading into Degna. This little kinky right-hander, really dangerous. That curb is so banked that going a little too hard on it is going to lift the right side of the car, and it's all it's going to do is make you spin and go into the wall right next to the bridge. So far, so good for Ian Beale. Let's see in the line that he takes through the spoon. Whoa, that was pretty good.
That was a lot of rotation, which is what's going to sort of support theory I've got at the moment. We've seen drivers really attack the curbs and really get on the curbs, whereas Ian seems to be avoiding them. So I'm going to go on a limb here and say that he's probably running stiffer suspension than the other drivers, which puts more wear on a tyre. So he's going to have to consider that for his strategy. It may be quicker, but he's definitely going to have to avoid the curbs and be more mindful that he doesn't make any mistakes.
Well, he is going to improve. 28.3 moves up into 6th. Something I do have to say to you is that indeed I think it does have a stiffer suspension, and to be honest, between you and me, avoiding curves on the race setting is best, because said it many times, those curves are deadly for these Formula 1 cars where the floor is so low. A little bit of elevation change in one of the sides of the car could cost them everything. And something you mentioned before that I would really like to talk to you about is what you said about the first sector. This first sector is so demanding on the tire. The tire becomes so hot that once you're gonna enter the hairpin, you're gonna see drivers really taking it safely through there, because if they try to go aggressive, the rear tires are gonna be too hot and they're just gonna make you spin. Here you see Pies. Wow, that's aggressive. Rudekna now heading into the hairpin, the corner we were talking about right now. Here you see
he's taking it.
Aborted the lap, no?
Either he's taking it really safe. No, he's aborted the lap. But you're absolutely right. That first sector is going to cook your tyres, and you are right in saying there is going to be some trouble coming up to that hairpin, hoping those tyres cool down in time. There are a couple of ways you can mitigate the problems that are faced with this, especially with the rear tyres. Is one, by being a lot more smoother on the steering wheel, like Jenson Button style smoothness, to make sure those tyres aren't punished too heavily. Secondly, you've also got your tools to play around with, such as your differential and your brake bias. So if I was in the cockpit after going through the S's in the first sector, coming up to the hairpin, I'd move the brake bias a click or two forward. So that's less temperature on the rear tyres and more stable braking. If you've got that in your mind, trying to perfect a quality lap, it can definitely certainly help with regards to doing that.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Ryan, are you listed as a Ferrari? Yes, he is. A poor man. Didn't notice he wasn't signed up as a spectator, but it doesn't matter, you know. It's classic Ferrari tactics, you know. What can you do? Here you see Ryan Harris, your brother from another mother. Starting the lap, it's Colborn with a mass. He enters the first sector flat out. Rail braking into turn number 2. Time for the S's. Let's see if the Aston Martin's going to go more aggressive on the curbs. Yes, he is, at least on entry. Oh, this is where the car starts to get unstable. Cars are already as hot as they can be. You can see them struggling.
Yeah, those rears are definitely a bit too hot there, trying to come up for that uphill left-hander. And he's really struggling to try and keep that car in a straight line, getting through Degner 2. So this may not be the quickest lap.
Let's
find out. Not bad at all.
Good line indeed, and the checkered flag has been thrown out. LJM again takes the lead. We saw this last week. He did a great beginning of the race, but then things started falling down for him. Oh, Harris loses it through the spoon. Too much curb on the entry of the second half of the corner. Completely loses it, and that is the end of qualifying for him. Let's head with Chocolate, who right now is about to enter the hairpin. Ryan Howard, take it away, because we might have a fight for the lead.
Absolutely. If he's managed to find that crucial couple of hundredths a second, which can easily be done through Spoon, what he really needs to do is get that X out the second half of Spoon. Really good rotation there. Oh, he just goes slightly wide, but that may not punish him too much as long as he got onto... Alright, maybe LJM is not the man to beat. At 6/10, Chocolate has to find. Especially coming up to the chicane here. Can he really outbrake himself? Yep, perfect. Really good rotation. He's using all of the track. He's keeping a really tight line near to the pit entry. Does he improve? He does.
Wow!
But not...
4,000ths of a second, huh?
Yeah, he managed to improve just enough to get ahead of LGM, which was the target. However, Drift King did really knock out of the park there.
That's one hell of a lap. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with the race. Get ready and strap on, because we're about to go rock and roll. We'll see you in a few short minutes.
Friday night and the city lights are shining bright. We're cruising down the streets, feeling alright. No destination, just chasing the thrill. Running wild, no time to kill. What's gonna come and take, and there he was, Casanova into a war. Caution, learn how to
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back and ready, willing and able to start this one out. Here we go. The safety car party. Will it be a clean race? Something we've hoped for a while. The red lights are out, and so will be the green flag, which is through right now. It is time to start this 27-lap race here at Suzuka. Lots of fighting going on in the middle of the pack. Drift King, no problems whatsoever. We see everybody in the middle racing fairly. Here you see Ian Beale. Someone holding 8th. Good spectator view, both are on the front and behind.
My AI is still in the race.
Oh, your AI is still in the... Well, right now we're racing and commentating. There you have it. Best of the best. Gotta love missing this track. Love this track indeed, man. We miss you. Also, we have a caution. It has been at the back. Unfortunately, we cannot take a replay.
Yeah, that would be...
That'd be you.
Yeah,
oh, 3-1, my God almighty. Really hard touch there between Rules Correos and LJM. And again, LJM suffering quite a bit at the start of the race, losing many positions. There you saw Drift King going very wide on the spoon. So does LJM, who loses another spot. Chocolate takes the lead. Drift King on second. There you see behind lots of side by side as we head into 130R. Look at these two racing again. Another car out of the track at the exit 130R. That would be Chocolate. Driftkin reclaims the lead. Ryan Howard, we're going to check on him. Let's see. Look at him go. The pace, Ryan.
Yeah, it's the best race I've done so far.
You survived the most in there. You see Optical making a great move on the inside of the first turn. Everybody coming along nicely. Incredibly. No, well, I'm not even going to say it because I'm just going to commentate or curse it. Great stuff from everybody, but unfortunately for LJM, Ryan, he's dropping positions left and right just like a fly.
Yeah, he's certainly pulling down the order there quite a bit. I don't know if he got into a bit of a tussle when he's been knocked around a little bit. And he's now got the challenge that most people who have teammates do, is what do I do with my teammate? Do I keep pressing? Do I let him through? He's had a little bit of a wobble on the exit there. That's allowed Philbo to really gain the traction he needs to get ahead up to Spoon Curve, and it looks like Philbo is ahead. That's interesting, the possible strategies that have just come up.
Yeah, and off the track.
It's not. That's going to be very costly. It's weird. The game is suggesting a soft, medium approach. I'm not convinced these tyres, well, the soft tyres at least, are going to last.
Oh, look at this side-by-side action for the lead. My God, it's still side-by-side. Drift King makes it through. Beautifully done there. Lovely fight on the lead. And Ryan, this is what we were hoping for from the beginning. Finally, some great, exciting racing. No shenanigans, just pure action. There you saw Chocolate trying on the inside. He couldn't make it happen. Drifting stays ahead, and the fight continues all over the board.
Absolutely, that was a really, really nice move into the final chicane. Knowing that he would have the inside of the second part of the chicane really paid dividends there for the Drift King. We've got Philbo now, who seems to have made a place on tyres and is now slowly climbing the order. As by time being his teammate, it was always the case of him saying to me, qualifying I'm not going to do too well in, but the race I think I will excel. And it always seems to be the case.
Yeah.
He's been known to make his way through the field with ease.
I have to agree on that. Every time the green flag comes up for the race, he goes into Super Saiyan mode. Here you see the battle for the lead. It's the Drift King leading from Chocolate and Optical. That's our top three. Of course, Optical right now deploying all ERS available to him. You can see that bar is very low. Oh my God, there has been a contact! And that is both Chocolate and Optical out of the track.
That was...
Whoa, Optical is going to further position. That was really forced.
Yeah, I think the stewards may want to have a look at that whole Optical pushing them off the track there. Especially seeing as Optical then dove into the pits afterwards. That was a bit naughty.
Yeah, that was very naughty. Don't be shy to say the truth. That was disgusting. There you see rules on P2 solo and P3. The Alfa Romeos are doing great after that incident. Ryan Harris losing the car. There you see it. It's on the wall. That is our retirement. And I fear.
It's okay, Tony. Wait to the lap 4.
Well, yeah, that's true. We had 3 laps on green. I'm not going to complain. Well, safety car, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be honest.
Hello,
we
Wing
did
One.
predict this.
But yeah, we thought there was going to be a safety car a bit early on, but this is really going to go into the favour of Chocolate, I believe it was, and it's Aston Martin, wasn't it? Who had the contact through 130R was Chocolate.
It was Chocolate and Optical.
Optical, yes, that was it. So what happened there, if you go back in the stream, what it looked like was Chocolate slightly tapped the rear of Drift King, and that caused him to go a little bit sideways and spin, and obviously nothing Optical can do. That was just really poor luck on Optical's behalf. It is a skill that you really have to kind of work at to follow cars through fast corners like that. You do have to have the sense to lift off the throttle so you're not right underneath the rear wing of the car behind. It looks like Philbo's got in for a quick pit stop. Definitely a good opportunity to take if you can. I wonder what tyres he's going to come out with. Oh, Mab and Chocolate have also pitted, but I think Chocolate had done it for the front wing repair.
Yeah, most surely. That was a big hit on the wall. Let's be honest, I don't even know how that car is still running, considering the massive hit he had at the exit wall of 130R. Let's check on his car. Here you see. You're joining the track safely. Car seems okay. Rear wing is untouched. Front wing has been repaired. Well, sorry, replaced. In this case. And as you can see, the Drift King Kling's lead. We'll have our restart probably in this lap or the next one. So we'll see how the restart goes. That's where people are most tense, and that's where we usually see safety cars, being connected one to another. Drivers handle restarts better than restarts. I don't know why, but
yeah, safety cars do just bring out more safety cars. It does seem like it's not an uncommon phenomenon. It's pretty common everywhere you sort of look, especially if you've ever engaged in ovals and iRacing. You can't go 2 laps without a safety car. But we know what the Alfa Romeos can do. They're very, very quick cars. You can just see the standards just to determine that. So if we're going through the constructors' stand-ins, Alfa Romeo are leading by a good 37 points, with Williams following behind. The driver stand-ins, as they are at the moment, is OMG It's Rules, leading the championship by 4 points. It's 4 points behind Drift King. So if Drift King can maintain his advantage here, he could get a good sizable push to the front of the championship.
Well, we'll see how that one goes. We're going to have one more lap behind the safety car. Then we'll go back. Green conditions. Let me tell you. Take a quick look at the tire selection from everybody. As per usual, the medium compound is the one chosen by everybody. To be honest, I do not understand the fact that Solo and Beal are staying out on that soft tire, it's gonna be dead a couple laps after the safety is gone. So I don't know. I don't know if this is the right decision for both drivers. Yourself has decided that you're also gonna run the soft tire. You weren't liking it, but you have it on track, Ryan.
It's not a strategy I would be endorsing. I would definitely be
smells like
endorsing a
Spencer.
medium. The strategy I would endorse would be a medium hard strategy.
Yeah.
If I did start in the softs, I would have pitted on the safety car to take on the hards as Philbo has. Maybe Philbo's planning a strategy masterclass here. Maybe he's got Hannah from Red Bull to help him and advise him with the strategy. It could be. I'm not going to say the hards are going to last until the end comfortably, but they will last.
Yeah, I think they're going to last extensively. I don't think they're going to last until the end, unless we have another couple of safety cars, and those cars are going to be on the border of exploding. So yeah, we will find out how the tire management is handled by all drivers. Safety cars should be getting out.
It doesn't look like...
Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
it is in this lap.
Thank the Lord.
So, Drift King here sets the pace. He just has to wait until the safety car peels off into the pits before he can go. And then obviously no overtaking it until the start-finish line.
Yeah, and we will see. Will he go early? Will he go late? We've usually seen people just go flat out immediately. Here you see?
Yep, he's got the power on.
Oi, man, I'm getting a penalty. Cutting the track while on the restart. That is unusual and that is unlucky, but those are 3 seconds. Rifkin with a great restart. He's going to stay ahead of everybody else. We got lots of trade-offs in the middle of the pack. Here you see Chris Chicken trying to handle the S's as well as he can. Tires are a little cold, as you can see. He's struggling to get the car on the apexes.
You could see him just sort of stabbing his wheel to find the grip within the track throughout those S sectors. And he's done a good job trying to find it, but with a bit more temperature, I think he's going to have an easier time. So just give it a lap, and those tyres should come into that.
No.
Oh, we've got a caution.
Oh, no. Oh, no. George is out, and that might mean... right out. It's low.
It looks like Drift King is still going at it, though.
Well, I pray to God he does. We still have the yellow flag thrown. We did see the rest of cars going very slow, so I don't understand. Yeah, there you have it.
There we go.
Right now, where I told you. Once it starts, it doesn't stop.
There's a domino effect.
And there you go. That makes more sense. I think everybody that hasn't pitted should do so. Definitely the guys on the soft compound, indeed. You can see the degradation on the tire already with 7 laps. You can see right there in the end, feels right front chicken spinning in the pit lane. Not good at all.
Oh, looks like my AI is now up to 7th place.
You're rocking it.
On 7 lap old softs.
You are on fire. Imagine you win this race. That would be spectacular.
It would be spectacular, but I would also have to request that the result that my AI gets is removed.
No, what do you mean removed? You're taking it, brother. No.
I'm not a part of the championship. Those points belong to the drivers.
Hey, you've been a driver, so you deserve those points, okay? You're
I got
taking
my
them. But you see, everybody behind the safety car. We are waiting for the second restart of the evening. Let's be honest, we call this Your AI wrecked George. Unfortunately, we cannot have replays because, you know, this game is as lovely as it is. We cannot access the replays.
That is unfortunate. This is something I did put in the Discord, just say, look, I think my AI might be racing.
Yeah, man, you're getting in trouble. You're not even driving. We went from glory to hell. But we'll find out because now Ryan Howard's in the middle of the pack. That is going to get spicy. That is certainly going to bring new edge to the restart. Pandemonium might ensue once again. Hopefully not. I've said it many times, man. There is nothing I hate in this world more than a damn safety car. Bose is going to leave next lap. I do have to say that we're trying to get information on what happened since you told us that it was Rand's AI who made the collision. We want to confirm what happened to all of you. Let's see if we can get more specific information on the matter. And of course, everything is calm right now. It's going to be rules. Setting pace for the restart. How will they handle it? Well, up very soon. The end of the slap. Good see the safety car leaving.
Right. Hopefully the safety car should be in this lap. And we should get some green flag running.
Yeah, let's see, man. Let's see. So it is confirmed your AI caused the incident. Well, that sucks.
Allegedly, yeah.
Damn, man, why are you driving so dirty? You gotta get some racist standards, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's a learning experience. I have no idea why it put me in a Ferrari to begin with, because I didn't select a car or driver. And furthermore, I did let the host know that this was out.
The one thing is for sure, I want to see what your AI does now. See. Safety car is coming in. Once again. We're going to restart. This time around is going to be rules setting the pace. Will we have our third safety car? The next 2 minutes. Time to find out. Look at that right front tire on Rose. That is severely damaged. Well, that is a really bad restart from him. And Josta could take advantage of the situation. They see side by side all over the place. Ferrari of Ryan Howard getting himself a 3-1 for the love of God. Oh my days! There is contact. Oh yeah. Oh, there is a front wing flying. Ryan Howard, absolutely. Oh, another front wing. That is. That is. Oh no!
Traded. Oh,
Ian Beale is out with a broken front wing. I do have to say that really sucks. Look at the fight happening in the middle of the pack. That's like side by side with the Drift King. That's a little wide, but he manages to close it. In Ryan's AI defense, they are being super aggressive indeed. Forcing a 3-wide through there is just nuts. Well, here we go.
Is a suboptimal idea to go 3 wide into turn 1. It's many drivers tried it before. It never ever works out, and anyone who would try and force that issue would not particularly be
Let's be
well
honest.
equipped to do that.
Ryan, it's all about applying logic. You know, that's it. If you apply logic to your racing, you're gonna end up in the top 5 easy. It's all about being logical and being cool-headed.
Exactly.
Think your moves through. You don't have to commit at every corner, because that is just going to make you lose positions left and right. As we see, we might have another 3 wide. Hopefully not. It's going to be Philbo back. It's another rule side by side. Great line on the inside from Philbo, and he makes it happen with a hard compound. That is one hell of a struggle on the inside of the S's. My God.
That was an incredible move by Philbo. They basically essentially got the switchback through the first turn there.
What a move from Chocolate as well.
Easily picking his way through. Do we know if OMG, its rules, has any wing damage at all? Maybe.
Hey, who, sorry?
The third place Alfa Romeo. I wonder if it's got any wing damage. It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it seems like it's okay. We have the whole pack catching up. Lap number 11. Fight for the lead. Very close indeed. Here you see Chocolate, who has made an incredible move through the S's. Can he do another one now that we approach the spoon? Very dangerous part of the track. That exit is incredible. Will it be enough though? There you see Phil Baggins and Joseph side by side. Baggins is already ahead. DRS helping him big time. 1:30 time. And as clean as a whistle, he moves to the lead. Oh, that's wide from Rules. And oh, there's a little bit of a front wing flying all over the place. So you see, it's Rules who actually just broke that front wing, coming in and getting it to fix. And Howard, this is becoming chaotic.
It's getting very, very chaotic, absolutely. But we did sort of predict this, as it is Suzuka. There is going to be a lot of hustle and tussle, especially with these sort of cars, especially through the S's. There's a lot of foresight that you need to exercise, being able to lift off the throttle and also anticipating the grip of everyone around you. You can't ever assume that everyone's going to take the corner as the same as you. You're not hot lapping your racing, essentially.
Yeah.
So while it may be frustrating the car in front of you isn't going as fast or is going as fast as you'd like it to, that's just the nature of racing. There are just going to be some cars that aren't going to be able to do it as quick as you. So you need to be prepared for that. You need to be prepared to lift and brake and anticipate the car in front. After all, there's a race.
Indeed, and safety is first. Here you see Solo has been dropping positions left and right. For the last lap, behind Pies moves up in the map. Hit line from the Alfa Romeo. The system is there. The ERS will be deployed. And he will start catching an optical. And they're going to stay ahead, but just by a notch. 1:30 for everybody. And enter lap number 13. Gaps are starting to build up, Brian.
Absolutely. So it's going to come to that point of the race where people are now going to be thinking about their strategy, what they do and don't want to do. And you're going to see where the drivers who are fastest at that track are going to make the most of it. And it looks like Drift King got a nice move using DRS there. And now he's got the advantage going through the S's, giving Chocolate a bit of dirty air.
Yeah, that is also something we haven't spoken about too much. Dirty air is really painful. Through this first sector, you want to try to take an alternative line through the S's just to get rid of that dirty air, because dirty air, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, it's going to make you understeer. It's going to make the car tougher to turn. So obviously you want to find a way to get that air out of the way. You can turn in as per usual. Let's go with Solo. Catching an obstacle. Let's see what they can do.
It looks like what's most likely going to happen is Solos want to try and make a move maybe through 130R. Something you can do in these cars is go side by side through 130R, unlike a GT car. But it looks like he's kind of backed off and he's looking to maybe make use of the DRS straight that is coming up. Now it looks like Philbo is now doing an amazing job getting the speed that he needs to carry on.
You see, Solo with DRS, and with DRS being this Optical is empty on the ERS department. As you can see, he manages to make the move on Josta, but that energy tank is as empty as it can be, and now he's going to start suffering. Look at the line there from Solo. Really nice. Drift King making a move on Phil Baggins, who makes 2 mistakes through Dunlop. Then number 6 manages to recover, but he's the second behind Drift King. Those are really bad news, because without DRS, once the train is broken, it is very easy to lose yourself in the midst of it all. Lap 14, halfway to this race here at round 7 of the LSR F1 Championship at Suzuka. And you have dropped down to last this season, Ryan Howard.
As the AI should be, but with that said, while there is a chance that you could get put into no man's land here at Suzuka, it is very much a driver's track, so if you do fall out of DRS range, you can easily get that back by just having that really good first, second and third sector. And there is only one DRS straight, so there's not necessarily so much as the DRS train here. It looks like Joestar is going side by side with what I think is Optical. Yep. But they make it through cleanly. He's now got the DRS and the slipstream. Can he make any moves into turn 1?
Well, DRS should be there, so yeah, it's a question. Look at Optical.
Yeah, he just sails right past. Are they going to try and make it too wide? No.
Whoa, he actually goes for it.
We've got a bit of side-by-side action there from the Alfa Romeo off its Solo.
Really well done there from Joseph to cover himself up from the move. Solo tried his best. Joseph knew he had to close that door and shut it down as hard as possible. Up into Dunlop we go. Solo getting quite a bit of speed, being forced to slow down. Now into Damka. Careful with the curbs. The exit is good. We approach the hairpin, and will Solo commit to a better exit? Yes, he will. Outside line. They are side by side. Ooh, big smash there on the front left of
Just
Solo.
a bit of wheel bagging.
That could be a puncture, right?
It could definitely result in a puncture, but I don't think in this case it will do, because it's just wheel and wheel contact. Joestar really trying to cover off the inside line there, but it just wasn't going to work. There's a long enough straight, or at least enough flat out section to get to the end to spoon curve for a good exit to benefit, especially if you are side by side. But it looks like Joestar may have to deal with a new problem, which is now his teammate slowly climbing up behind him. But the upshot is that his teammate does have a 3-second time penalty, so he should be free to let his teammate by and maybe just hang on to his DRS. And it looks like Chocolate has just made his way up into P2, and Philbo is falling behind just a little bit.
Can he catch up? That's the question. Drift King on newer compound. The hard 8 laps for Chocolate, Baggins, and Optical, who pitted on the first safety car. 11 laps on the tire. In 3-4 laps, those ones are going to start saying goodbye. You can already see that medium just hooked.
Is not going to do too well in the later stages of this race. I can only imagine that the top 10 may want to pit again, ideally, and the bottom 5 might want to look at trying to extend this stint as far as they can. But if there was a safety car, I'd think every driver would jump into the box without a question.
And of course, let's not count a safety car out. We know it's very prone to happen. Here you have a 5-man bout for P4. Solo, Optical side by side, as you can see. You see Solo is ahead. Optical looking to go for the inside on the castle triangle. Not going to happen. Pies making a move on the outside. Beautifully done there. Claims the P5. Optical didn't even smell it. And Solo's going to have a little bit of breathing room. But here you see DRS. It's disgusting how fast it is. Down with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. The 5-man train and turn and continues
Absolutely. You can see that maybe it's Solo maybe kind of struggling trying to keep the cars behind him because he was on the recharge mode, so he's got around about, I'm guessing, 15% ERS. And would be my guess for the Alfa Romeo ahead.
Nice. Oh, bye.
No.
Cutting the track. I do have to say, yeah, this game is not very good at determining off tracks. It's very inconsistent, as we saw on qualifying on the Spoon. We saw cars going completely off the track, didn't get a warning. And here we're seeing drivers just go a little bit on the curb and actually getting warnings. So
yeah, it's very inconsistent, I would say, the track limits on this game. But Degner 2 on the exit is very, very easy to be hit with an off track, and those warnings, it is very, very easy. It's not uncommon at all. And it looks like, is that Chocolate? He's just jumped into the pits? Yes, it is.
yes, indeed, he has come in. Baggins cannot catch up to Drift King again, as we previously mentioned. He is on a newer compound. Easy Pies, who now takes P3 Solo right behind him, trying to fight the position. He has a gain either way because of the 3-second penalty. The Red Bull driver, oh, that's a big miss on the apex, and something we haven't talked about as much as we should have. This track is so technical and so flowy. You lose focus in one of the corners, and the following corners are completely screwed. Make a mistake on the first one, you're going to lose the second and a half easily. And that's exactly what happened to Pies.
It is very, very easy to lose that kind of time here at Suzuka, because you have to not think about the corner you're currently approaching, but the corner ahead of it and the corner after that. A Spoon corner, which we're coming up to right now, is a prime example of that. You need to gear it up for the exit of the second half of the Spoon. So you really want to make sure you end up on that right side, not putting too much load on the tyres so you can't make that second left turn to get that rotation and that really good exit.
Well, I gotta tell you, Solo's pushing like a maniac. There you see the tire comparison. It shows that Wiz 2 seconds behind. Cars are better. Of course, we're comparing a medium to a hard. I do have to say, and it's a great point from Asa right there in the chat, this has been the cleanest race we've seen all championship long. Of course, the DRS there for Solo is not even a question. Move is gone. Whoa, big lag spike there.
It is fine. I noticed something really interesting with Josta's tyre wear there, and that is the fact that his front tyres were more worn than his rear tyres. That's not something you really expect, considering everyone else's tyres are more worn at the rear than it is the front. So
maybe the brake balance.
It could be the brake bias, or it could be the way he set up the suspension geometry. There's usually a meta behind it. Maybe he's gone for something slightly different. And it seemed to have been paying off up to a certain point.
Yeah, well, we've been seeing it in his driving. It kind of it reminds me his driving style of Alonso back in the 2006 championship. Not saying it because he's Spanish and I love him, because I do. But if you see, he's trying to force that understeer. We still have a caution. We do not know what is exactly happening. It is clear now. But you can see he's just getting very early into the corner, turning very harshly, and then let the understeer just make the car go straight. You can get a better exit, and that might be the reason why his front tires are so worn out. As we previously mentioned, brake bias is very important as well, and we might see a trade-off here for P3. Pass makes it through momentarily. Solo's going to try to keep the inside line. He's not going to have a Chocolate with the fastest lap, 30.306. We're up into fifth, and Solo couldn't do anything about that move. Pies moved up in the third, provisionally obstacle 29-2 with the soft. So let's see how that compound works for him. 8 laps to go, Ryan. Things are slowly coming to an end. Let's go a little bit with the Drift King.
I have a feeling, given the strategy that's played out, I think Chocolade will find himself back onto the podium. As I said earlier, it could be very well a two-stop race, and you can easily see the tyres of the front runners easily diminishing. Can they make it the last 7 laps? They are certainly going to struggle, and we may, in fact, actually see a puncture happen.
Oh, indeed. Oh, another penalty. Being awarded. Rev King just chilling, relaxing. I want to go with Josa, even though he has 8 seconds of penalty. He's still fighting, and he makes a move on Rules on the flat-out right-hander. Can Rules bring it back through the spoon? We'll find out in just a few short moments. That is a big off-track as well as a big lock-up on the soft tire, but of course, still, you see the difference in grip. Rules is ahead because he's deploying all areas possible, but still with that mistake, you could see how much Josa gained. Time for the Castle Triangle, and it seems like he's going to have to stay behind. Gonna go.
But it looks like Joestar has really set up the exit there, but it looks like Solo's really wanting to chase down, well, defend himself from Chocolate, who's 6 seconds behind. But he is creeping up to Pyres, who has got a 3-second time penalty, so it does, as it stands, look like
Oh no!
loses out of the race. And it's a safety car. Where exactly? What happened to Rules?
It looked like turn number 1, loosen the car and on the wall. That's what it seems. Of course, the car disappears, so we cannot exactly tell you, ladies and gentlemen. But
For a lot of drivers, including the front runners, this is going to be a godsend, a huge gamble. Do they pit and try and make up the positions and hope?
I think everybody's going to go for a soft. Huh?
Yeah, if they do pit, it will be for a soft tyre. But I can also see a lot of drivers maybe wanting to stay out and hope there's only, 2 laps left of racing?
Yeah, it's going to be 2 or 3. There you see Drifting, of course. He had many laps on that. Hard compound, so did Philbo.
Oh, Philbo goes in and he gets a 5-second time penalty.
Well, that is
So
exactly
Pirates,
what we're gonna get.
that is... There was no need for him to sort of push that hard into the pit lane either.
Oi! Oi, Solo! Very cheeky trying the overtake on the pit entry. Hasn't worked out. Well, we'll find out in a second. Tires are changed. No, it hasn't. Great try. Woof!
Sadly, it was a swing and a miss. But now we've got... appears to be Chocolate. So, as it stands, what it looks like anyway, Drift King first. OMG, it's Solo looking for a strong P2. Then Paez, then Philbo. That's what I'm guessing is going to be the top 5 as it stands, with penalties applied as well. The admins have always made a case saying that penalties cannot be disputed if they are given in-game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Indeed.
But it's going to be an interesting one to see how they could sort of overcome these challenges. What Philbo needs to do to win is really pull out all the stops. He needs to get ahead of Drift King and maybe pull out a 2-second gap and hope Drift King gets a 3-second time penalty. That would be Philbo's hope.
Or punt him out.
Yeah.
That's the quicker option, but not the
Send him for a spin.
Exactly.
And cop a post-race penalty.
Maybe the steward will forget, right? Yeah. Well, this is gonna bring us a very exciting end of the race. I do have to say, it looked like he did it on himself. To be honest, pretty clean racing, except for all of the restarts. All of the restarts were very messy. But apart from that, I think it has been the best race, considering the standards of all drivers on track, by a long shot.
Yes, sir. So,
Well, you can tell me better than I can, since we were on track for most of the season. Do you think you're seeing an improvement on all drivers?
yeah, definitely think there's been an improvement. certain drivers especially, is definitely getting better. And I think within next season, everyone's going to have that really nice, good experience with racing each other. They're going to know what everyone behaves like, and what the boundaries are, what they can and cannot push. It looks like all the cars are now meeting up in the start-finish straight. Maybe with the exception of my AI and Crispy Chicken, who I think is more than happy to see a safety car come out in this late stage, along with Ian Beale.
Louis, last SC killed my chance of winning. Well, anything can happen.
Anything can, and anything will usually happen.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen it all. Everything you think, oh my God, this could never happen. Well, we've had it all this season. So, what can I say? Enjoy the ride. We are going to have, I presume, 4 laps until the checkered. So,
Wait, is Drift King on mediums there? Did I just spot mediums?
Well, that's. There you see, Drift King on mediums,
Oh,
yeah. Maybe he used all the softs on qualifying.
That's
you're
gonna be
chocolate,
really-
okay. Well, this should be the last lap under safety car, Mr. Chocolate. Sad to see that, but again, you don't have a penalty. Anything can happen, so keep it up, brother. I do think that it's a joke that you can all type because the AI takes over. I hate that, but that's the game, of course.
It is what it is, and I'm just receiving word that the Alfa Romeo, the AlphaTauri killed the Alfa Romeo essentially, and that's what caused the safety car this time. So there could be a steward's inquiry with one of the AlphaTauris, perhaps maybe Joestar, Mab, who took out its rules essentially.
Well, you can see that all of the cars are ready to restart this one. Drift King is going to exit the Casio Triangle, and it's time to restart this race for the 3rd time. 24 laps out of 27, 4 remaining. The restart was sublime from the McLaren. Behind him, Phil Backus and Pies on 2nd and 3rd respectively. 5 and 3 second penalties for both of them. Solo on 4th, and Mab, who has taken 5th. Also, with a 3-second, we already have a crash. It is OJM and Mr. Chocolate, who's going to immediately retire from the session. That is exactly what he wasn't hoping to see. Are we going to get a safety car? I don't think so. Cars are back on their way, so we are still on green conditions.
Yes, sir, and I think this point of the race, the safety car is now more or less disabled. But that was a very, very unfortunate incident. If, I don't know, Chocolate is still in the chat here, I would like to see his perspective and see what exactly happened.
Yeah, I think it was Sabas through the S's. Maybe somebody turning to the other person. Again, unfortunately, we cannot do replays. But that is really unfortunate to see. 4 laps to go. Drifting right now is in heaven. 2 guys with penalties behind. He is just chilling. Here you see Dan Zach trying to catch an Ian Beale, who just made the move on him. That's with quite a bit of ERS available to him, so he could put that to good use. 3 laps to go, Ryan. Things are coming to an end, and that is a very unfortunate fate for the Mercedes, who was having a great race. Mr. Chocolate.
Yeah, I'm just looking over the stream now. It's a bit tricky to see, but it looks like LJM went all around the outside of Chocolate, and what essentially happened there was, I think LJM thought he was clear of Chocolate and tried turning into the fast left-hander there, and Chocolate was still unfortunately there, which caused them to both sort of spin out. As unfortunate that is.
It is very unfortunate indeed. 3 retirements rules also out.
That's going to be a massive blow to the Alfa Romeos in their constructors' stand-ins, having one car only finish and the other car finishing higher. If LJM could really put the moves in at the moment, he could find himself back into the points, but he's got very limited laps to do so and 9 seconds to make up, plus another 3, so he's got to essentially make up 15 seconds.
Oh my God, Philbo trying to go side by side with the drifting and getting twisted through the casket triangle, even with a penalty. He doesn't want to give it up. He wants to get this done. Unfortunately for him, no ERS to be used, but thankfully for him, the ERS is enabled and he will be able to use it if he can. There you see Drift King closing all the doors. 2 laps to go. Things are coming to an end. Will we see the Punterino at the end, Ryan? What do you think?
I think Philbo's going to race him hard, but it's going to be more or less clean. Drift King is in the pushover. He will defend his position as much as he can, but I think Drift King is a smart driver. He knows when to let someone go. And if I was Drift King, I'd say, you've got a 5-second time penalty. The car behind you has a 3-second time penalty. Go on ahead, Sunshine. You're more than welcome. And just take the win on penalties.
Yeah, right now, we'll be talking about Solo on P2. And if I'm not mistaken, it would be Pies on P3. So
yes, that is currently what the stand is looking like. And Optical may be able, if he pushes hard now, get into... He essentially needs to be within 1 second of Solo to get that P4. But this is a really, really good result for the Red Bulls at the moment.
It's definitely, I think, a 3rd and 5th. Definitely good. The problem for Optical is he doesn't have any ERS. He cannot use DRS either, so yeah. Things are not looking too well. He's going to need a miracle to get that done. Phil Baggins still pushing like a maniac, trying to get on Driftking's inside, but it's not happening yet. Drift King looking forward to getting another victory, this time in a way more decisive manner. This is what we wanted. Unfortunate to see that we have plenty of incidents again, but as I said, getting cleaner and cleaner by each race, so that is a lovely thing to see. Here we go through the bridge for the last time.
I think there's a more interesting fight going on now. It's the fight for P2, because it just looks like Solo's just within outside of that 3-second window. If Solo wants to get onto that second step of the podium, he needs to push, and he needs to push hard.
Again, no ERS to use.
It's bad.
Let's see. Oh, that is pushing, huh? You can see he's trying to leave everything on the table. That's a great exit. Could that be it? Let's go with Drift King, because in just 15 seconds time, we're going to crown him as the race winner. Drift King gets it done once again, crosses the line, and becomes the race winner for round 7 of the F1 Championship at Suzuka. Pies momentarily ends up in second. Phil Baggins on third. Solo 79 thousandths of a second away. Couldn't make it happen. Philbo saves the podium by a millimeter. Well, Ryan, this is the end of it.
That was an incredibly close race and finish for the podium. That was incredibly done by the leaders of Pires and Philbo and Drift King. And if I'm not mistaken, this propels Drift King up into first in the standings, with Philbo taking second in the standings as well. However, this will not affect Pires' standings. He will still probably sit comfortably in 4th for the time being, as the gap is quite huge, but he can still claw that back and maybe get P3 in the championship.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to find out in 2024, ladies and gentlemen. This is our last race of the year here at Lightspeed Racing. We want to thank you for all the support you've given us in 2023. And all we can say before we go is that 2024 is going to get even crazier Thank you very much to every single one of you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we will see you next time. Thank you, and have a good night.